That's right. Start your engines because it's the April 2025 Power Platform Community Call. Today is April 16th, and I am David Warner, Quisitive, your humble host, and with me is April Dunham hosting with me today as well. And we are so excited because we got just lightning fast, great Scott, 88 miles per hour information to share with you today. It's going to be like time travel. Awesome. But let's first talk about what we're going to talk about. So we've got a bunch of community resources and samples. We've got some news and events. Of course, everyone's favorite time. That's right, picture time. So get those fantastic faces ready for the community calls and the community together mode. And then we've got our amazing presenters of the day. Furkan is here. It's his first time, everybody, so we want to show him a lot of community appreciation and support. He's going to talk about expanding model-driven apps to ease Power Apps admin workload. And then Samir is going to talk about revolutionizing IT services. Fix It 365 meets Copilot and Power Platform. He's going to show how he created that software and that app and everything. It's going to be really cool. And then Bülent's going to round it out on how to make Copilot talk to you via phone. I just got to get Copilot to stop saying new phone who dis to me. I just wanted to talk to me. So I'm excited for that as well. But first, let's talk about some resources that are available to each and every one of you in the community. We have got things like our Community Learning YouTube channel. Now, this is a YouTube channel that breaks all the rules in all the right ways. We submit and create videos that are published each and every single day. YouTube says, hey, there's a better way to do that. Stretch it out. But we don't care because we want to supply you with amazing content each and every single day. It is by Microsoft. It's by the community. Demos in these calls are there. Other calls and other videos are there as well. So definitely go subscribe and smash that like button and subscribe button. We've got our LinkedIn page for groups and discussions. Of course, our open source and our sample galleries, some samples of which you're going to hear about today. And of course, you need to remember every single one of these URLs by heart. There'll be a test at the end. I'm just kidding. No, there won't. Don't worry about it. We only need you to remember one URL. That is ak.ms/community/home. Or you know what? We got a fancy top-level domain that you can take advantage of. It's https://community.ms. Put that into your browser, and it'll take you to our homepage. But if you're watching this call and you're thinking, you know what? I actually really like what everybody's presenting, and I would like to present. We welcome you. We want this to be a call for all of you, by all of you. It is for the community, by the community. And so if you are working on a cool project, or you've created a cool sample, or you've just got a utility, or you've got a favorite technique that you are really jazzed about, that passion comes through on these calls. So please, 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 absolutely fill out this form. Don't overthink it. Don't think it has to be, something epic. And if it is epic, that's great. But even if it's useful for you, others will find use in it as well. So please don't hesitate to reach out. Let us know you'd like to present. We've got a fantastic backlog of presenters, so we'll get you scheduled in there. Be patient with us. But absolutely, we want to see what you are passionate about. And so does the rest of the community. Okay, let's kick it off with some Power Platform samples. And April's going to lead that for us here this week.
Thank you, David. This is what I love to see. We have so many samples, snippets, and prompts to highlight this month. And the really cool thing, notice how many people have done double dipped, triple dipped. We have people sharing sample snippets and prompts multiple times. So shout out to Marcus, Gomo, Nate, Steve, Katarina, even our very own Katarina had a really great telemetry with Azure Application Insights sample there. Samir and Volupio and Brian and everyone for all of your great samples. We have everything that you could possibly want. We have business cases with a really nice warehouse template Power App there. We have even fun kind of sports use cases with the Verify bot, which is a Copilot Studio template that shows some sports football information, pickleball team generator snippets from Nate. So, and even some games. If you want to play some games and Power Apps, you can play Minesweeper or Tic-Tac-Toe, thanks to Steve and Nate. And of course, all of your business use case prompts for doing things like expense processing, retail, a rental property inspection, and all of that. So tons of samples. We have over 62 samples, 34 snippets, and 119 prompts. So thank you to everyone that's contributed all of your samples. Go check them out at aka.ms/power platform-samples to see all of the great contributions that we have from the community. And we would love to see your samples in either one of these repos so that you can share your knowledge and your fun things or your business use cases with the rest of the community. And I hear that we have some things coming up that can help you if you're a first-time contributor there and want to learn how to submit to one of these repos?
Yeah, we absolutely do. You can power up, you might say. Yes, so what is that? It is sharing is caring. And we finally are getting things scheduled here, everybody. Again, we had one last month. We're getting one scheduled up here in May. Busy season, but we appreciate your patience. Look for May 14th. That URL or form will be active here in the next day or so. And then we're looking to schedule these on the same kind of recurring schedule like we do the calls so that they can be reliable and consistent. That's a model we think works well for the calls, so we're looking to implement it here for sharing is caring. But if you're sitting there going, well, I don't even know what you're talking about, David. Sharing is Caring is a program and an initiative to provide what April had mentioned, that hands-on guidance for contributing to the community. So if you want to use some of these samples, or you want to submit the samples or modify the samples, but you're not really sure how to navigate that hub of gets, that GitHub hubs, that labyrinth that is known as GitHub with all of its confusing terms like pull request and forking and all that stuff, we'll walk you through it. It's live, it's hands-on. You're going to actually submit a pull request, which is equivalent of a contribution, and it's going to count as a contribution. And it's not recorded, so it's safe space opportunities for you to collaborate with other members of the community in a fun, interactive, hands-on opportunity. So keep on the lookout for that. We will scream it from the socials as well when we have that opportunity. And we, of course, when you do contribute, we want to recognize you, and that is where our recognition program is alive and well, showcasing all of your amazing contributions. It is powered by Credly, so these badges are official and accredited, can be applied to your LinkedIn profile, to your blog, to your resume. We've got so many fun and amazing badges that are available. And of course, that's right, we are active with the Star Wars May the 4th Be With You theme and campaign right now. It is live for the next 3 months, April, May, and June. You just need to contribute 1, 3, or 5 times to get the entire set. And we're even looking at a magical 4th badge right now for those that do get the full set. So a lot of exciting things. We see the powerful devs that come out. It is absolutely free, everybody. We cover a cost, or cover the cost for this. Credly does charge, but we cover that cost, so it is absolutely no charge for you. All you got to do is opt in, ak.ms/community/recognition, and we will make sure that we recognize you for the amazing work that you're doing. And speaking of recognition, we're bringing back another way to recognize you. These are our March 2025 contributors. We want to thank everyone. In fact, there's so many, we have 3 full slides. So snip this, grab it, take a screenshot, go get it from the video afterwards if you're not able to get it right now. But this is our way of calling out and recognizing each and every single person in our community that has contributed for the months of the previous month of the call that we're in. So we're super, super excited. And you can be on this slide when you contribute, get into that recognition program. That's how we compile all this information. And we just want to say thank you. You're amazing in the community. It is really incredible, all the work that you're doing. And we are so, so, so appreciative. All right, let's get into some upcoming events and shows. Of course, right around the corner is Build, so we look forward to that. If you don't have that on your calendar, you might want to. Of course, we've also got the Microsoft 365 Community Conference coming up here in just a few weeks. I know a number of us will be there. April will be there, and Vesa and Paolo and Hugo and myself and a lot of other fun people. We've got ECS, or you could say this is a hat trick of conferences, all 3 in one location, Dusseldorf at the end of May. A lot of us will be there as well that I just mentioned. We've got the TechCon conferences that are coming up the rest of this year in Seattle, Atlanta, and Dallas. And then, of course, everyone's excited for the Power Platform Conference in Vegas. A number of all your favorite friends will be there, so make that one that you definitely get to. And of course, Ignite is coming up as well in November. And last but not least, European SharePoint Conference. So we're excited for this. It's Dublin at the beginning of December. Now, we also have a number of other events that are put on by members of the community. This is incredible because there's so much hard work that goes into this, everybody. So please support them. Some of them are hybrid, which means that you can support from where you're at. Some of them are virtual only, which means that you absolutely can support where you're at. And some of them are in person. Whatever opportunity you've got, please do go and support the members of the community that are putting on these events. A lot of hard work goes into doing these, and we absolutely are appreciative for everyone's efforts in putting these on. Okay, let's get into some news. And so we'll start out. Shane couldn't be here with us today. He sent his notes from the field, literally from the field. He's out at a soccer tournament with his family right now in Florida. He just wanted to remind everybody, have you used AI today? Because Copilot and other AI tools are coming on fast. So he said, try to make it part of your daily routine so you're comfortable with it, you're not afraid of it, and you're using it to ensure that you're being the best in your role that you possibly can be. Okay, thanks, Shane. Hope you're having fun at the tournament. All right, let's get into some news and learning. We'll kick it back to April.
Yeah, lots going on in the Power Platform world here. First, we have agentic automation with bidirectional integration between Microsoft Copilot Studio and UiPath. That's a mouthful. What does this mean? Microsoft and UiPath have joined forces to enable this bidirectional integration between Copilot Studio and UiPath so that you, the developers, can embed UiPath automations within Copilot Studio and utilize Copilot Studio agents within UiPath Studio. So really cool, new, kind of unexpected, honestly, update there. Next, we have introducing agent flows. So these are just dropped in Copilot Studio, kind of the love child of classic step-by-step automation and AI smarts, if you will. You can build structured flows using natural language and sprinkle in some AI to do things like document processing and approvals and all of that. We have introducing Model Context Protocol, MCP, in Copilot Studio. So this is kind of the latest, biggest thing in the AI world. MCP servers let you plug your agents directly into external APIs and knowledge bases and all of that. Now we have that capability integrated within Copilot Studio. On the Power App side of things, the data workspace now supports editing existing tables. Can we get a round of applause? I know a lot of people are waiting for this to be able to edit existing tables there. That's right. And with Smart Paste in your model-driven apps, you can now drag and drop images in there. And this can even be handwritten images, and it will automatically get all of that goodness from the image with AI and put that inside of your forms. Pretty sweet. And from the Learn side, we have new content there to perform common actions with client script in the Power Platform. So that's an updated Learn module to check out to be able to get upskilled on that. So that is it for the news.
Awesome. And I think we got something else you're going to share, right?
Yeah, we have the sample snippets and prompts of the week. So this is something every Thursday on LinkedIn. I highlight one of the contributors from either our sample snippets or prompts repos there. So the ones that we had the last couple weeks here are Steve for his upload file snippet. It's a Power App snippet that you just copy and paste, and it allows you to do drag and drop to upload files into your Canvas app. So pretty sweet sample there. And then Samir has one that shows some chart options that are ready for Power Apps to embed as components. So 2 really cool samples. Thank you both for your contributions, and be on the lookout on LinkedIn every Thursday for more sample snippets or prompts of the week.
Awesome. Thank you, April. And April's on vacation today, by the way, everybody. So that's how passionate and how much she loves the community. So thank you, April, for spending some time with us while you're on vacation. All Absolutely. Right. Well, what time is it, everybody? It is picture time. So get those fantastic faces ready. We will turn on our together mode here and turn on our camera. I already see some of those smiling faces showing up. Excellent. Great to see you all here. So we'll increase that. Give Vesta setting the good example here on waving the hands and doing all the dancing, jazz hands, all that good stuff. Okay, we are doing good on timing, so we can give it just another second. Teams has been a little latent lately. Had to wake it up when you turn that camera on. It takes a second, so we'll give everybody an opportunity to kind of get ready and get in their roles. And I'm a dancer. I'm a community. All right, everybody, let's give it just another. Oh, Natalie, want to turn it off? Try again. Want to try again? It seems to be a little delayed. See if we can get it going there. Get it going. Give everybody just a second. All right, well, let's kick it off. 3, 2, 1. All right, great to see everybody. Again, thank you for being amazing, joining these calls. Really appreciate all that you're doing in the community each and every single day. Would not be possible to have these events without you. So we are so appreciative. All right, well, let's get back into it now. And so we're going to move into the real rock stars of our call today. We're going to begin with Furkan. He's going to discuss expanding model-driven apps to ease Power Apps admins' workload. Mouthful, but exciting. And again, Furkan's first demo, so let's give him a bunch of support. Furkan, if you'd like to take on over the screen, the floor is yours, my friend.
Okay, do you see it?
Perfect. Yep, showing up. Excellent. Take it away.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Hello and welcome. Thank you all for being here today. This is my first presentation at the Power Platform community meetings. So I'm both very happy and excited to be here. Knowing that my time is limited, I have some deep topic to cover. I will be going a bit fast, but I will be happy to answer your questions at the end of the presentation. And the topic I will be presenting is expanding model-driven apps to ease admin's workload. So we will start with my motivation, my purpose, and then we will check the app itself, and then tech stack, which technologies I used, and then the challenges I faced when building the app itself. I'm Furkan Karacan from Istanbul, Turkey. I'm a lead Dynamics 365 developer for Adesso Turkey and have more than 7 years of experience with the Dynamics 365. I've been using the Power Platform since its very beginning, or since day one. And I'm a Microsoft Business Apps MVP and Microsoft Certified Professional. I have a blog called crmminds.com. And if you would like to reach me on LinkedIn or check out my GitHub repo, you can see the links on the slide. So what was my reason for building this app or such an app? Well, for me, if you too, if you regularly work with the powerapps.com, or also known as the maker environment, if you manage solutions or build cloud flows or administer users, then maybe you think that the maker environment itself isn't always the most, I would say, productive tool. There were some pain points for me that I usually experience during my daily work, like slow performance comes first. You sometimes experience waiting for pages to load, especially if you're environment that has lots of flows or apps or tables. And I also find the navigation a little from time to time inefficient. Some tasks, simple tasks, can require like multiple clicks, and I constantly find myself jumping between the different sites like Maker Portal, maybe the classic interface, the admin center, and etc. There are also lack of bulk operations is also a major issue for me. Like, I think we all at some point said, why can't I can simply change the owner for multiple flows simultaneously, or copy the whole components of solutions with one click from one solution to other. And doing these things one by one is time consuming for me and can be boring quickly. So to address these points, I just talk about like the slowness, the clicking around, and the lack of bug actions. I developed a Power Platform Admin 10x app, and I called the name 10x because I think it will really make you 10x productive. At its core, it's a model-driven app, but it's heavily utilized the custom pages built specifically to streamline those common, sometimes tedious Power Platform administration tasks to ensure a fast and responsive UI, directly addressing the performance issues I talk about. I use the modern tech stack. This includes React 19 for the user interface, ShetCN for highly quality and accessible components, Tanstack components like for their powerful tables to plug and use it. And of course, for the .NET for the optimized backend logic to speak with the Dataverse itself. And the entire goal was to directly address the pain points we often experience with the standard tools and provide a better or more efficient experience for the developers and the admins. And the key architectural decision, and I think the major benefit is that it runs directly inside your Dataverse environment. This means it leverages the familiar XRM context you already work with, and perhaps the most importantly, it inherits your existing Dataverse security roles. So there is no separate security model to manage. If a user doesn't have permission to do something in Dataverse, then they can't do it in this app either, because it's a model-driven app and runs inside the Dataverse. So it's secure by design. This also means no separate logins or constant context switching are needed for many of the core admin tasks. Through the design, the focus was mainly on minimizing the clicks and maximizing the information that you see on the screen, and letting you see do more things in the so little time. With that explanation, now I think best way to understand the improvements is to see it and to also be efficient with the time. I prepared some videos in advance, so let me switch to the videos. for how the app itself works. So this is the GitHub page for the app. If you want to see more details or get the managed solution, you can visit it and get the solution or check the demos here. So I will start with the user section. So so in here, like I said, it's a simple model-driven app with the custom pages. What you see here, I put all the users inside here, and I put a search box. You can quickly search for all the users in the system and select the user. Then you have options like managing the security roles directly here, or you can copy the roles from one user to another user. So when you create a new user, you don't have to manually manage the roles. You can just have a user that already have that roles. Then simply one click, you can copy all roles from one user to another. And you can also search the roles here just with each key input. It will show the filter rows. So it's also a productive feature. And like I said, you can search the users by the rows. So let's say, let me pause for a second. Let's say you have you want to see which users have which role in your system. For our case, we are checking for which users have the system admin roles. So I'm clicking the button and just selecting the role. I don't even have to search for the role. Just with some click, I can find the role here. So I don't have to scroll. I select it and click search. As you can see, it's extremely fast. It shows you all the user that has the system admin role. You can also include unlicensed user if you want to check for the inactive or unlicensed users in the system. If you want to include in the query, then you can select the user, and like I said, you can copy the roles from a user to another user. Like again, I use this search box everywhere to just make the things run quickly. And everything is asynchronous. It runs behind the screen. You don't have to wait for operation to be finished. It will run behind the screen, and then it shows you a status message like success or error. The names are hyperlinked. You can click on the user name, then it will direct you to the Power Apps Admin Center user page. You also have option if you want to do more how can I say it, more advanced or Power Platform Admin Center specific things. You can click on the username and you can direct yourself to here on the Power Platform. And what else? You can, I think this is all the video, and you can also order the columns, sort the columns, and for the user rows, I think it's what's most beneficial thing is that having the option to copy user rows from one user to another with one click, and search the system with the which security role assigned to which user. And there is cloud flows that I can show you, maybe another pain point for me. Again, you have the list for the cloud flows. Let me refresh the page. So you have the same list, same UI tables. These are Tanstack tables, some React libraries. You have here all the cloud flows that in your system with their they are managed or unmanaged, the owner and their status. And when you can again search a flow quickly with the search bar, you can select it. When you select it, you have different options like seeing run history, changing owner, closing or opening, turning on or off the flow. You can also edit, delete, and create a new flow. So when you click on see run history, you see in a dialog that the run history for each flows for selected flow. If it's a success, it shows success. If it's a failed flow, that it shows then the error message and the error code and the duration. And then you can select multiple flows, and you can just with one click deactivate them or activate them again. Then again with one click you can assign the flows from one user to another in bulk. And it's again like it's lookup. The names are hyperlink. You can click on the flow name and it will direct you to the Power Automate page for that flow. You can change owner here. You don't have to scroll find that user. You can just write the name, and in that case, system admin my test user that I changed the owner. And if you click on the new, it will direct you to the Power Automate to create a new flow. If you click edit, it will then open that flow inside the Power Automate. And if you do any other Power Automate specific things, you can still use it with just click. You can direct yourself to that page. So yeah, if you want to check for the more features or the information or get the managed solution, you can visit the page. So now let's go back to the presentation. The tech stack, yeah, as you see in the demonstration, I think my aim to be quite responsive and feature rich. To make that happen, let's see which libraries or web technologies that I use. For the front end and development server, I said everything you see are a custom page, but it's built inside the Vite. It's a development server for front end. It's you can use React inside of it, and I use React because it's a component-based architecture, and I have lots of different components, but I can reuse them without writing each component from from scratch. I have different tables for different entities or sections, but they are actually just one component in the React. I just give different data to them and show the which columns that I want to use. So I use React for that reason. And for the tables that you see for them, I use TanStack table. It's a web app library. It works great with React. It's a fantastic library for implementing the advanced table features like resizing, sorting, filtering, pagination, and it happens very quickly, saving you a huge amount of custom code. To improve the overall developer experience, because I work with a lot of Dataverse APIs and work with lot of data, I use TypeScript. Having this strong typing makes the code more maintainable, especially as the application grows. For the UI components, things like you see buttons, forms, dialogues, menus, I used ShadCN. It's different from standard libraries, but you essentially copy those nicely crafted, accessible components and built on another React library called Redux UI. And this approach gives you huge flexibility for customization because they are ready to be extendable or customizable. But you can quickly grab which component you need. You can just import it to your solution, then have your own styles applied to them. And for the styling components, rapidly and constantly, I chose the Tailwind CSS. It's a utility-first framework that lets you style elements directly in your markup, so you don't have to write vanilla CSS, which I found very boring to write because I'm not very good at CSS. But the Tailwind CSS, it's a different framework, and if you work with React or other kind of web technologies, I strongly recommend you to check that. And finally, for the certain backend operations that needed more complex logic and are critical, like assigning security roles to users or changing flow ownership, I used Dataverse APIs. I created custom Dataverse APIs using .NET and the CRM SDK. This allows handling the potentially heavy operations on the server side, so not on the browser itself, on the server side. And you can also see each operation because it's a custom APIs are also work like plugins. You can see all the operation history in the plugin trace logs inside the Dataverse. The challenges, building this application using tools, I think was a nice experience. I also did it like to see if we can run the React or the other modern web technologies inside the Dataverse. But like any other project, it wasn't, as you know, without its challenges. So I had some challenges while building the project. The first one relates to the deployment process for the custom page web resources, because Vite, the development server I talked about, Vite, essentially when you build the project, it just gives you compiled JavaScript code that means nothing for you, maybe, or the developer, because it's just compiled thousands of rows from each package or libraries you use inside your solution, the project. So to importing that to CRM or that database was a challenge, but I found a nice blog by Andrei Butenko. So shout out Andrei Butenko if he's here. He explained how to import web resources from React apps to the Dataverse. So I use that. You build your project. It gives you JavaScript, CSS, and HTML files, and then you have to import them to the Dataverse, which is a manual task. But I think with some effort, it can be done in automated way. The second challenge I run into involves the integration and communication between the custom pages and the model-driven app that is hosting the custom pages, particularly around navigation and context passing. Because while embedding the custom page is straightforward, but getting them to interact seamlessly with the model-driven app sitemap or passing the XRM context between the two apps was a challenging job. But I used one of the older Power Platform community meetings recordings. There was a I don't remember the name, but there was a guy who was talking about how to communicate the custom pages with the XRM CRM Dataverse context. So, but there was still some limitations. But for now, I think it came out better than I expected, because these are all modern technologies, and React 19, it's not even the version itself, it's not even a 1 year old, it's just a couple months old, but it was seamlessly running inside the database. So that was what I was aiming to see if it's going to work or not. And yeah, it's worked out great. So other than that, these two challenges, I think I can say there wasn't much challenge, because like I said, the components or libraries I used made all the things are easier, and that I don't have to write a lot of code or do lots of troubleshooting. So it was a smooth experience. And yeah, so thank you for listening. I will, if you have questions, I can answer that, or we can. I don't know. I still have time.
Oh, freaking we're
my time.
Yeah, no worries. You did awesome. Yeah, this is great. We're a little over time, but that's okay. Great job. A lot of very advanced stuff here. Thank you so much for sharing it with the community. You are rocking it.
Thank you.
And for those that are seeing this and see things like TypeScript, and Furkan mentioned things like, strongly typed, those kinds of things are coming to Power Apps, right? So when you look at user-defined types and user-defined functions, and I'll paste kind of that blog article from January in the chat for you, maybe start going to get comfortable with those things, because they do empower you to do more. So Furkan, thank you so much for sharing with the the community. Okay, in the interest of time, let's move on. Samir is here. He's built something pretty cool. He's going to show us how he did it and what he learned along the way. Revolutionizing IT services, a Fix It 365 meets Copilot and Power Platform. Samir, if you'd like to take on over the screen share.
All right. Hi. Thanks, David. Thanks for having me today, and thank you, Vesa, April, everyone who's behind those events. It's a huge effort and work that goes behind the scenes. So yeah, big shout out. Let me share my screen quickly. All right, let me know if you can see my screen.
Yep, it is all loaded. Take it away, my friend.
Thank you. So yeah, my name is Samir Daoudi. I'm a Microsoft MVP specializing in Power Apps and business applications. My background is purely on Microsoft technologies. Started my career with C#, SQL Server, moved to SharePoint, worked with pretty much all versions of SharePoint since WSS3, and I've been specializing in Power Apps since early days, 2017, I think. I try to blog on a regular basis. You can reach me out on LinkedIn or X, Twitter, or you can check out my my blog. Right. So today we look at a very specific use case. We're going to look at the challenge of frequently asked questions in the IT services or IT department, and we will look at how we can turn that frequently asked questions into smart interface using Copilot agents. Then we're going to take that Copilot agent and embed it in Power Apps. It can be any application, Canvas app or model-driven app, but we have a use case here where we're going to embed it in an existing Power Apps. And finally, we're going to take the whole thing and surface it in Microsoft Teams. The idea is to improve productivity and make sure that everything is available to our end users in one single place. And because they're spending most of their time in Teams, this is why we have a wrapper and we surface everything within Teams. So the challenge of frequently asked questions within the IT world. So a few years ago, having a frequently asked question page in SharePoint would have been something nice and exciting and shiny. That's not the case anymore. The idea is that the IT teams will maintain lists of frequently asked questions in the hope that end users will consult that list, have a look before sending their queries, and probably self-serve and find a resolution to their queries or request before reaching out to IT services. So that can be either something in your intranet or in SharePoint or web page. So let me switch to the demo here, and I will share my browser instead. Right. So for this demo today, we have an example of frequently asked questions. This is a typical Excel document with a list of questions and some answers with links to learn.microsoft and a couple of other resources. The idea is that this will be turned into a Copilot agent or chatbot. So I'm going to switch to Copilot Studio here and check my agents. I've already created the agent, so I'm going to take you through how this has been created. And the most important thing is that we're going to be using the Excel document as a knowledge source, generative AI, for this agent, and expected that the agent will try to find answers from the content in the Excel document. So we have an agent here with an icon description. If we go and look at knowledge, you see the Excel document here, and from here I can test my chatbot here. Say, okay, what is Teams or something like how can I create a SharePoint site? And basically, yeah, typical testing of Copilot agent. Hopefully it's going to come back with some answers. Fair enough. I'm happy with the agent. I want to publish it and make it available through the standard channels. You can publish this agent to Microsoft Teams, a web application, mobile app, Facebook, Skype, maybe, why not? But yeah, I'm happy with the agent. Now I want to integrate my agent into an existing Power Apps application. And as I said, it doesn't have to be this application. It can be any app, but the fact that we can embed the Copilot agent in an existing app makes life much easier. So the users, this is service desk application. The users can come here in order to submit a ticket, and they can leverage the chatbot to reduce the load and number of tickets that IT will receive. So in this application, we have two sides of the app. So we have the backend or the admin team, where they can look at the tickets that have been received. They can interact with the tickets. They can upload files, attachments, add notes, look at the timeline, and resolve them. We have also the end user side where as an employee, I can come here, I have a problem, I create a new ticket. Let's say I have a problem with or a request regarding SharePoint. I can come here and say, I want a SharePoint site with external sharing capabilities. All right. You can have some attachments here, and basically that's how you submit a ticket, right? In this interface, you see that we have also access to the frequently asked questions and the chatbot. So I'm going to show you both sides of the of how we can work with the frequently asked questions. So traditionally, you would have something like this. So you have I've grouped those questions by category. So you can say, okay, I have a question about SharePoint, and I want to know about external data sources. You click on the question, or you can have like an accordion. Can I integrate SharePoint with the external data source? Yes. So this is the traditional way of working. It's not exciting. It's a bit outdated, and yeah, it's not really engaging with the end user. So the same chatbot that we've seen can be included as control in my Power App. So we can interrogate the agent directly from here, or we can have in the header I created a component header which brings the Copilot agent. So if I go as an admin. Yeah. So when I click on this icon in the header, it brings this chatbot here component. This is a custom component we've created. I will show you how that has been done, but same thing. The same Copilot agent has been embedded in this control, and it has this nice looking web style, I would say, where you can expand, close this component. Now, how has all this been created? I'm going to switch back to my components. First thing, we're going to look at the header. So we have an icon here. There is nothing too fancy about this. It's an image and a button. So when we click on that button, we just set a variable var show Copilot to be true. It's just a boolean which says true or false, right? And this variable will drive the appearance of the component in my interface. You will notice that the component has access to the app scope, so it's a global variable. We can update it from the component. It's fine. If I go back to one of the screens, click on this icon, it brings this component, and the visibility of this component is driven by this variable. Now we have the actual component where we have the Copilot agent running, and basically this is a container, right? A vertical container with a few things. So we have an image, HTML control behind which displays that gradient background, and you have two buttons here. So this one will close the component by just turning the variable to false. This switch between two predefined sizes. So we have another variable which is Copilot size. It's either large or normal, and it toggles between these two sizes. And more importantly, we have the chatbot component. So that's the place where let me show you how we enable that first. So if you go to your app settings and you go to features or updates, search for Copilot. It's still in preview. It has been in preview for a while, but this is the feature that you need to turn on to be able to have the chatbot component. Once you have that, just simple drag and drop in the component or the screen, and you can connect it to an existing chatbot. So in my case, it's the one that we've seen earlier. This one. Right. So let's see, as an IT technician, for example, I receive this ticket, and the user wants to create SharePoint site with external sharing. Let's say I have no clue about SharePoint, and I want to know how to do that. So I'm going to call Copilot here and say, how can I create SharePoint? What would have been nice is to pull the query content and automatically pass that to Copilot, but that's probably next version. So here it gives me step-by-step how to do that. So first go to SharePoint permissions, click active sites, enable external sharing, blah, 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 and you have a link to where it found the reference. So if you want to learn more, you go to learn.microsoft.com and you have step-by-step how you configure that. So I can follow that quickly. Let's say create the site, go to the resolution, down, there's your URL, save, and that's it. So it helps both the end user and the IT technicians to leverage the content from the frequently asked questions. You can also integrate other sources. It doesn't have to be just this Excel document that I showed you. So you can connect to other reputable URLs, mainly things like learn.microsoft.com and so on. Now, we've integrated Copilot in the Power App. We have generative AI, we have that content surfaced by Copilot. That's all nice. But we know that our users spend most of their time within Teams, and there is no better way than reaching them where they spend most of their time. So we avoid context switching, we improve productivity, and make sure that everything runs in the same environment, in the place where they're comfortable. So what I've done here is that I took that Power App and created a wrapper for that within Teams. Basically, the same application runs within Teams. You can access Copilot directly from the same app, and you don't have to switch between chats and the agent and the app and so on. So most of the time, if your end users are trying to reach to IT services, they're already frustrated. There's a problem, they can do their work. So the last thing you would want is to expect them to switch between different tabs and different applications. So how was this Teams application built? I used out-of-the-box developer portal, and you don't need any developer skills here or anything like that. So you go to your apps, create a new app. We already have an app here. So let me show you how this looks. Basically, there are different things you need to provide here about your app information, things like icon, title, description, and so on. But most importantly, a Teams app is just a manifest. It's a JSON file which doesn't contain any data or anything like that. It points to different places. So a Teams app can have a bot, a connector, can be a message extension, can be a Teams scene or things like that. But more importantly, you can have a personal app, and a personal app is basically a tab like the ones you see here on the top. So I created one personal app, and all it does, it points to my Power App URL. So the thing is, probably the one tip here is that I added at the end of the URL hide navbar equals true. So that will get rid of the Power Apps header on the top. It looks like it's more native to Teams. Everything runs smoothly within Teams. So this is just because I'm running on development environment, but basically the apps looks like it's fully integrated within Teams, and that's how you can leverage both Copilot, Power Platform, Teams, and create a fully functioning solution, which streamline the IT service work and kind of create a nice, easy, and simple interface for that. Right on time. Back to you, David. Thank you so much, guys.
Samir, awesome stuff. Really great looking, slick design. Everybody's loving it. Talking components, lots of cool, exciting technology you're using there. So thank you for sharing that with the community. We'll have to have you back again to show even more off about how you built that. Excellent. Okay, in the interest of time, we're going to hand it over to Bülent. He is going to talk about how to make Copilot Studio talk to you via phone. Bülent, if you'd like to take on over the screen share, it is all yours.
Awesome. Yeah, let me just, can you see my screen?
Yep, showing up. You got it.
Awesome. Thank you very much for the confirmation. So aloha, my friends. This is the topic, how to make Copilot Studio talk to you via phone. And a little bit about me. So I'm Bülent Altinsoy. I'm based in Germany, so live here, born here, raised here, but my origin, my parents are coming from Turkey. That's why I'm Turkish and German at the same time. I'm also, since beginning this year, in Microsoft MVP, and since a longer time in Microsoft Certified Trainer as well. I am at Avanade, a company since 14 years, in a new role beginning this month as a senior Power Platform and Copilot Studio expert, and have started my community journey last year. Thanks to the people who've been here on this call, who were very supportive and encouraging me to start this journey. And I'm very happy to be here. So in the interest of time, I'm just overjumping that and jumping directly to the scenario. So I'm pretty sure a lot of people here have children. So if not, I can only recommend you make some babies. It's really fun, especially if they're growing. They're cute in the beginning, but they can be really emotional terrorists later, I can tell you. Later on, one of the scenarios, especially when winter is coming, one of the things which just really comes very often is the kids are getting really sick very often. This winter, my wife and my son were really battling for the trophy, who wants to get sick the most time, right? So, and what's happening when your kid is sick, you have to call, obviously, the doctor. And when you call the doctor, what's happening, at least here in Germany, but I'm pretty sure that happens everywhere else, is everyone else is calling doctor as well. So you have a busy phone line, which ends up at the end that you are very angry. I, for example, need 300 or 400 times till I get through. And sometimes I'm really, really angry because they said there's no appointment for you. Try it tomorrow again, and so on. And I'm like, I will come and find you. So I want to play GTA 5. And when I have that kind of feelings, what it means. So, I mean, that could be an easy solution. An easy solution could be, done with Copilot Studio, if of course the petitions would really know about that. So Copilot Studio have the power, amongst others, about the knowledge. You can add a lot of knowledge, and every petition has knowledge which you can add, as unique and can help, especially for young parents, because these are mostly the desperate people who just calling and just want advice. And this can be very easily done. So obviously you don't want to send them to the hell of a chatbot. You just want to make them that Copilot Studio talks to them. So what I need for this? So these three magic letters. So IVR, interactive voice response. So interactive voice response supports when you have US tenant, also European tenant, speech and DTMF support, dual tone, frequency support, and also that you can integrate a voice-enabled agent, and you need at the moment still a service like D65 customer service just to do this. So in that case, let's hope that the demo gods are really with us, and I would just jump over and just go directly and do the demo. So what we see is here, I've built an easy petition agent here in that case. So when I just do this and go to the right side and just say, here in my options, I currently can't see the options, but you will definitely hear them. So I just want to play that, you see that in front. So for example, one of the most things which just happens is fever, for example. So when I say my kid has fever, so I just advised Copilot agent here in that case that he shall give me a quick answer based on that. So ensure your child stays hydrated and comfortable, use a serum method, blah, 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 blah. So, but we're not here to read text. We just want to do the demo here now with this phone, which you can see on the screen. So let me just call then the service.
Thank you for your call. Our virtual agent and human agents can help with your questions about our stores or product issues. Stay tuned to talk to our Copilot. Hello, and thank you for calling your health service. I'm here to help you the best possible way I can. Here are your options. You can press 1 or say fever, press 2 or say cough, press 3 or say cold, and press 4 or say ear infection.
Fever.
Ensure your child gets plenty of fluids to avoid dehydration. Use acetaminophen or ibuprofen to reduce the fever, following the correct dosage. If your child is under 2 years old, consult your pediatrician for the correct dose. Was this advice helpful? You can press 1 or say yes, and press 2 or say no.
Yes.
I wish your child a speedy recovery.
So luckily the demo worked, which I'm very happy about. So that wasn't always the case when I just demonstrated on conferences. So I have quite a history. So I've recorded the video for any case it would have gone wrong. But what's very, very important is, so you can just configure this, but how can you really let Copilot Studio speak at the end? As I said, you need the service like D65 customer service at the moment, for example. And when we just go there, then you can just configure it quite easy. So you do have your work streams, and when you just click on your work stream, then you do have where you can just configure the speech here in that case. So, and when you just scroll down, I just have scrolled down so not everyone can see the telephone number. Otherwise, they will just try it out and call to that bot. What you just configure at the end is the bot here. So in that case, when you just click on edit, so you can just do any kind of these things, what you just heard. So what is new at the moment is that you hear via voice that Copilot just says, I'm Copilot, we're now connecting to your Copilot and so on. But I think this is also configurable in the future. So I do have now my prediction agent, which I just have configured. So how can I do this one? So once you just go back and you just go to your channels and you publish this one. So once you just publish this one here, by this one, it's available. And then you just go then to your bots. And when you just click on the refresh, after a second, you will see then one of the agents which you just have done. So I've just have published mine 1 hour, 1 day before. That's why you see this 23 hours ago. And then you can just select this one. When it's appearing here, awesome. Then you can just connect that without any problem there. So now let's go a little bit and see how the magic within topics then works. So if I just go to the systems and I just have put everything to the conversation start here. So what I just did is, it's very important when you start this one, I've used a template for voice that's only available in the US tenant and the European tenant. So for example, Germany does not support this one. That's why I've set this tenant up in the US to show you the demo. Hopefully this also comes to Germany as well. But if you're using a European tenant, it's no problem. It's available and then you can use it in projects as well. So what we just do is you can just configure speech and DTMF in this case. And what you can also see is here, I have just configured multiple options. In that multiple options, I do have fever, cough, cold, ear infection. You can use anything what you want. These are the typical ones my emotional terrorist is permanently getting. So that's why I've just put them in there. So you can also use this one. You also have this option here in Copilot Studio as well, and play this through a demo and can also try it there as well. What I'm just doing is I'm just going to a condition, and at the end by this condition, what I'm just doing is I'm converting this into a value with a simple power of X formula. So if you just go in here and just also see how the power of X formula looks like, then what I'm just doing is a simple conversion. So I'm saying text and topic, sickness, choice, and then I just have the text value of that. When I just do this, I'm just passing over this value, sickness string in that case, and let the data sources do the magic. What I do have, I have just combined 2 knowledge sources there, and I'm just asking in that case, please use these knowledge sources and also keep the answer to maximum 200, because if you just allow Copilot Studio to chat, then it will bore you with a lot of details, because Copilot Studio says, I'm so smart, I can bore you to death. So that's how you can limit it a little bit, so doing less chatty in that case. So what I'm just doing is I'm just asking if this answer, this is good or not. So due to the interest of time, I just have shortened this a little bit up. What I did is, in this might be also an interesting scenario as well. I just have saved the user the response previously here. I didn't have show that. Let me just show that quickly in advanced. So in that case, and I'm using this advanced at the end here in my edit and just going and say, please don't use the same which you have used in answer. So in that case, that it shall use it a little bit differently and also describe it a little bit, because sometimes parents I don't know, this is not helpful for me. Can you do something else? Based on that, you can also influence Copilot Studio and the agent a little bit, how you just do this. So more or less, that's it. That's a demo. I'm just looking at the time, as we don't have so much time. But if you're interested in building this, I have just published that on a blog post 3 months ago. So the basics are there. You can just see this. If you want to build it on yourself, just scan the QR code. And I'm happy just to see what you can build. And maybe you come also with some kind of other amazing ideas. And if you want to connect with me on LinkedIn, and I also saw that David has shared the links. Thank you very much. I'm happy to connect with you. So for more new Copilot Studio newsletter news, so stay tuned. Tomorrow there will be exciting news also be shared. So in that case, thank you very much for having me, and back to you, David.
Awesome, Bülent. Thank you so much. Really, really great job. All 3 of our presenters today were fantastic, and all the demos worked out well, and the information was super powerful. So thank you, Furkan, Samir, Bülent. Excellent stuff. Love that you're all rocking your passions in the community. Okay, perfect timing as well. So thank you all. All right, let's talk about some resources. We've got plenty of community calls for you. I mentioned at the outset that we've got the Tuesday call. This is weekly with Microsoft speakers, which is amazing because you get to hear it directly from the horse's mouth of those product managers and program managers. But In July and August, guess what? We're taking over. Resistance is futile. We are going to take over as a community, and we're going to show off a ton of the powerful devs and the SharePoint Hackathon presentations and contributions that were part of those hackathons. So an exciting opportunity there in those 2 months. Of course, you're on the monthly Power Platform call. We've got our Office add-ins, and we've got our sibling bi-weekly Microsoft 365 and Power Platform community and Viva Connections as SharePoint Framework, which is tomorrow. You can get access to all these calls at aka.ms/community/calls to get those invites. And please get them on your calendar. These are like a crystal ball into what's new, what's now, what's next. I always say that. It's one of my favorite. And on this coming Tuesday, we're going to have Bob German visiting virtually back after his retirement. He's going to be visiting with us again. Enhance your declarative agent with adaptive cards. April and myself will be talking about Power Platform snippets and how you can contribute to that repo, get rewarded for it. And then Pooja and Vesa will be talking about extending dashboards and cards across SharePoint. So a nice, well-rounded call on Tuesday. We've also got our Discord server. So if you want to impress those kids of yours that you're cool and hip and in a Discord server, you should start with ours. That jokes aside, of course, it is super valuable because it's kind of like a one-stop shop for a number of topics within the community. aka.ms/community/discord. And we'd love to get some feedback from you, so please don't hesitate to let us know how these calls are doing, if you find value in them. If you've got some constructive feedback, that's okay too. We ask you to just please keep it positive. And with that, the recording will be available in 24 hours or less on the Microsoft Community Learning YouTube channel, aka.ms/community/YouTube. Go subscribe. You'll be alerted as soon as it's available. You can also follow us on all the socials, LinkedIn, Blue Sky, Twitter, /X, on those different handles. Our next call will be May 21st. I believe that's right before the Collab Summit in Europe, so everybody's going to be excited for that. You can get the invites at aka.ms/Power Platform Community Call. Thank you, everybody, for being the best part of this community. We would not have these opportunities without you. Please keep rocking it. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.